Simply put, there's nothing more exciting than seeing an underdog fight through blood and sweat to come out on top, right? What is up, ProGuides fam? My name is Trey, and today I wanted to cover what I thought was the biggest upset in the Valorant First Strike NSG closed qualifiers. As we all know, C9 has been in the scene for a while now, and they are a very well-known and respected team. However, in this tournament, Cloud9 Blue lost to a relatively new and up-and-coming team, going 0-2 against the Renegades. We'll be covering how Renegades took advantage of Ascent and how they completely broke down one of NA's big powerhouses. Get comfortable, grab a snack as we take a dive into the world of competitive Valorant.
Also guys, I just wanted to mention we are doing a huge Black Friday discount this Friday, November 27th, giving over 50% off our memberships. To get the discount, use promo code BLACKFRIDAY.
Since we are on the topic of competition, I wanted to ask you, the viewers at home, who do you guys think is going to take home first place for the First Strike main tournament? There's a lot of great teams competing, and I know for sure we'll see excellent play throughout, but for me, I have to be rooting for 100 Thieves. Again, I've said this before, but I have to cheer for the veterans of the gaming scene and the OGs of CSGO. With that being said, let me know who your favorites are in the comments down below. So getting into this match, this is the First Strike Closed Qualifiers quarterfinals hosted by NSG Game 2 of the best of 3. Both teams just came off of an excruciating long drawn out Game 1 that went 17-15 in favor of RNG. That's 32 full rounds played out. It must be especially mentally exhausting for C9 since they played such a long first match and could not come out on top. I just can't imagine how they would feel after that. For this game, it's going to be on Ascent, with both teams running a Jet, Raze, and Omen. The difference in team comps is that Renegades is running Cypher over C9's Killjoy and Renegades Sova over C9's Breach. So with C9, they're going for more area denial with the Killjoy and aggressive utility with Breach to help clear and peek certain angles. Meanwhile, RNG is opting for a lot more info gathering tools with Cypher and Sova. Heading into the first round, a couple of key things to note here. Renegades on defense is going for an initial 3-stack on B, leaving the middle pretty open here with just one trapwire. On the A site, let's talk about this nice 2-man setup with Omen and Raze. Omen is setting up a fat paranoia for the A main push if it happens, and Raze is an excellent agent playing A main here, able to stuff any big pushes with her Boombot and Page Shell. As the attackers, Cloud9 takes it nice and slow, having their Raze as the solo lurker holding the B main push while everybody works up A main. I really like here how that C9, instead of using Killjoy to watch the flank like people would normally do, they use her to clear A main with the turret. During this time C9 are trying to control A main, Omen smokes the bottom of markets, and that allows Relics, the Raze, to come back from B through mid and regroup with Tens and Mitch to 3-man hit Catwalk for a nice ace split. Now this is where things get fun. This is such a great execute from C9, so pay attention. Since Shinobi only used one smoke mid, he has another to smoke the door off, and that's what signals the attack. Notice how the main point of contact is going to be the tree room. The two attacking C9 players in A main are just simply waiting for contact before pushing on a site. Tens leads the charge as Jet, dashing towards the window instantly, creating a lot of space for his two other teammates. However, the two defenders of RNG has really nice coordination here and gives up the site and fights tree room. Because of Winsome's grenade, it splits Mitch and Relics up so they can't trade each other out. The best play for Mitch to do here was probably to go towards Garden and cut off CT rotations. However, he just runs through the smoke in a frenzy with the frenzy to his death. Relics can't get the trade and still dies to the Boombot. A very messy situation here. On the bright side, Tens makes it all the way around from heaven since he got to the window with his dash before and cleans the two defenders up in tree. It does turn into a 3v3, but C9's post plants are really tough as they don't have much site control and Tens is very low. The best bet here would have probably been to stack 3 people under heaven and try to use Tens as a bait, putting 2 people in one corner. As the round plays out, there's just too many angles as C9 gets cleared off of the site. First gun round on the way, and we'll notice Renegades is actually bonusing, carrying their Spectres from round 2 to round 3. You'll also notice Retro and Bergie are sticking with Sheriffs just so even if they lose this round, Renegades will still be able to buy the next. That's what a bonus is. With them both having 2 deaths, they aren't able to afford much for the bonus round. And that's why staying alive always matters, folks. You never know when that extra money you use to buy shields comes back to haunt you. On this round, Mitch does the same thing A main with the turret and hops up the high ground this time through the box. If you don't do this, definitely learn from Mitch here as it's a great angle to throw off your opponents at A main. Just, don't be too loud. C9 are really aggressive here taking mid as they push into markets. You'll notice they don't actually smoke Cat off and they leave Breach on the top of mid to watch if anybody from Cat pushes out too wide. After C9 pressures mid and breaks that one lone trapwire Renegades had mid, they back out and go B main. Excellent map control that makes it very confusing which site they are hitting. This is another thing for Cypher players on Ascent B. Notice how if you're soloing Anchor B, this camera Randy is using is insane for information. Definitely add this to the arsenal if you haven't already. So with all that time passed, Shinobi has both of his smokes back and can smoke the door and defender spawn. Reach flashes through and Tens dashes fast through lane to try and break any trapwires there. Unfortunately, he does dash a little too wide and drops down, messing up his spray and gets taken down. Notice how amazing Renegades are playing off of each other. Randy gets the first kill and then goes closer to wait for more cover. As that happens, C9 tries to chase him down and then CP2 peeks from Boathouse and does a lot of damage. They juggle the tension so well that Randy almost gets the ace. He does get a nice 4K though. Nice hold, Randy. What C9 had to do there was flash once out of B main and then flash the site for Tens to dash into, or let the teammates move up way closer to site and have Tens dash to the end of lane. They do neither and they all completely get wiped out. Round 5 and we see the operator come out. Not on the Jet, but the Sova rather actually. Renegades decide they want to play aggressive this round and they do so by walk pushing Retro to the left side of the wall while having CP2 hold with the operator. Unfortunately, CP2 only hits a leg shot, but Retro and Randy are there to shut things down. Again, great peeks to juggle the attention of the enemy by Renegades. Tens had a great initial pick, but decides to run in afterward with his knife out, not expecting any more resistance. I don't know, man, he's been playing a little too much League lately. The Neural Theft comes out after and they notice C9 is running A. Winsome does get a nice stink, but Relics gets the better of him and C9 are able to get the spike down. What completely ruins C9 on the post plant here is dying to the flank. Mitch wants to help out his teammates on site and think the odds of a flank is low, but he gets taken out and they just get swarmed from every possible angle. The best chance of winning there would probably be to let Mitch bait as the spike is planted next to Generator and all he has to do is hold from A main. Also, Relics had ulti there which probably would have bought a couple of seconds and could have traded 1 for 1. Mitch just needed to watch the flank and wait for teammates to make contact before swinging out. Renegades has so much momentum on their side right now heading into round number 9. C9 have to win here or the situation is looking dire. We see both sides going for the operator with CP2 and Tens, and the action starts early as Tens jumps peaks and wins the duel straight away mid. C9 should have this in the bag, right? Let's take a look at how Renegades salvages this situation. First thing you should always be thinking about when you lose man advantage early is to play for information and picks. So Retro, instead of playing A site passively, decides to play more active and peek A main hunting for heads, and he manages to destroy Mitch. If you're Mitch and up a pick, you should probably be expecting the enemy to push. Instead of endangering yourself by taking control of A main, you should probably stay back and hold. Now it becomes a 4v4 and Renegades knows that the chance of an A hit is unlikely as they have A main control, so they have a very quick rotation to B. Bergie though goes down mid very shortly and then makes it a 3v4 retake for Renegades. Let's break down this retake. Since the trapwire is still down mid, they know nobody is pushing markets, so Renegades all go through defender spawn. Next, a great Cypher cage by Randy blocks off Tens, which makes him antsy to take a duel and he flies up with his Bladestorm only to get swatted down by Retro's Bladestorm. That's some real anime stuff going on. With Retro securing the skies, Winsome hopping in with the showstopper, C9 really has no chance when they're all holed up so closely in Boathouse. What C9 could have done differently is played more spread out and aggressive with the Breach. I don't know if Breach had flash there, but it would have been nice to coordinate with Tens' updraft. Same with Paranoia. Ultimately, it was a very tough post plant as Tens lost the B main duel and the rest of C9 were cramped near Boathouse. Round 10, C9 desperately needs to make something happen. I see this so many times where nothing feels like it works, so they just go for a 5-man hit somewhere. In this case, C9 are trying A. Renegades have the same setup as first pistol round, but Mitch surprises Winsome first and gets the initial pick. Great instant execution right here from C9. If you're doing a 5-man hit and you get a kill, don't stop pressing that W button. The Omen smoke comes out on the door and Tens updrafts and dashes onto Generator, getting a really nice vantage point clearing out the site. He then goes and pushes Heaven, eliminating Randy, and the round is pretty much over. But wait, there's more. Renegades, knowing that they have such a huge economic lead, decide to just play exit frags, meaning to try and get as many kills before the round is over to force C9 to rebuy. And what happens? Well, none of C9 make it out alive due to Retro chasing after them from Tree Room and Bergie sitting at an amazing angle to take out everybody. Even though C9 did win the round, the effects are devastating as you see from the next round. They have light shields, bulldogs, and a Spectre. Spoilers, they don't win the following round, and the round after that for the last round, their economy is shattered. All due to this one round where Renegades knew they lost sight, so they played exit frags, and pretty much secured 2 extra rounds because of that. Well played, Renegades. Let's get into the second pistol round, and it's the interesting one. Not much map control here for Renegades. They probably feel really confident being up 10-2, and they decide to just 5-man push B with the trap wire holding the mid to tiles push. Notice how everybody on Renegades opts for light shields besides Randy because he needs his utility. When you're doing a fast play, most of the time you're going to be up close and personal real fast, so this is a very optimal buy. They clear B main expertly, double peeking the angle, and you see Randy Savage do a crouch peek with nobody making any noise. Since C9 does not play aggressive anywhere due to lack of confidence, they have zero idea what's going on in the map. Team composition also plays a big factor. Due to C9 not having either Sova or Cypher, they are completely in the blind. Renegades does a really interesting walk-in strat where they smoke off B doors and another smoke to cover the angle off stairs instead of CT. I love it. Somebody does make a step on the side of Renegades, but they do get onto site pretty smoothly, keeping C9 guessing. After they make contact, they completely just dogpile on the site as Mitch does get one cheeky kill hiding in the corner of the smoke, but ultimately TenZ this round decides to go Super Saiyan. This was a great execute by Renegades, but TenZ wins all his duels and ends up with a 4K, a real hero of this round. Renegade were really overconfident here with Retro pushing hard into defender spawn and dying himself, and also CP2 and Winsome were not on the same page peeking individually. A lot of deaths could have been prevented here if they played numbers on site. So round 18 is actually a half buy for Renegades, but they managed to take it. Let's take a look. These smokes come out here for Renegade and Retro dashes in with his teammates following, and both Shinobi and Relics lose the close range encounter. While what Relics did this round was not bad, it's better to play distance against the lesser half buy. No doubt in my mind, if Relics played back on site and Shinobi played Tree Room and rotated to Heaven afterwards, it would have been a done deal. C9 were doing such a great job too coming back, but unfortunately this was a crucial round they needed to win. This all could have been prevented by taking a look at RNG's economy and saying, I shouldn't play too close. Definitely keep this idea in your mind in your ranked games as well. With it being a 3v5 retake for C9, it's extremely difficult, but they do decide to try it out. C9 do manage to pick up some good exit frags, but Renegades only needs 2 wins. That was probably undoubtedly the dagger that decided the game. Into Lucky 21, we see good trapwires from Randy and that it's going to be an A split, 3 cat, 2 A main. As they get up to cat, they waste no time using the owl drone. The owl drone gave them so much information, they actually could have used the paranoia a little later, but that's all in hindsight. Retro being on fire that game gets a really nice opening pick onto Shinobi as Renegade storms the site. Unfortunately again, C9's A site loses 2 members without getting 1 kill, making it another 3v5 retake. Again, just to mention, with C9 not having a lot of information gathering tools with their team composition, it makes them really perplexed on which site Renegades are hitting, meaning that they should have played a little bit more aggressive to get that information in return. They also did get out-aimed here, as Renegades were on fire. Again, C9 loses the 3v5 retake. No surprise. What I would have liked to see is switching up the setup, perhaps like having Relics and Shinobi play on site, while having TenZ play Tree Room being the fastest rotator to cover mid or B, basically isolating Breach and Killjoy. And speaking of Breach, another huge thing I wanted to mention is that C9 should be playing way more aggressive with Breach for information. From what we've seen so far, the Breach pick has not been getting any value. Vice, out of all the defensive rounds they played on Ascent, has not played up one single round, always playing back on site. This is actually really funny because Vice is a Cypher main and that's actually how he's supposed to play. He's conditioned to do that. So why not just play Cypher at that point? Instead, they have a really passive Breach, not getting any information off of his flashes, and C9 slowly bleed out. This is the final round of the game and we see Renegades opting for a 5-man push onto A. As we, the spectators, see, this seems really bad for them as Killjoy has all her utility on A. Renegades still commit though anyways. Retro does the signature jet play and throws down Cloudburst down and runs through onto site with Winsome. Both of them do die, but then Renegade wins all their aim duels. It quickly becomes a 3v2 and Vice manages to trade 1 for 1. Relics gets the first kill on a Bergie A main and pops the ultimate trying to finish off the clutch, but gets taken down. It's a lot to process at that specific time, but he could have just shot the rocket under Heaven to clear that out. If he doesn't get a kill there, the last enemy is probably most likely in Tree Room. Either way, Renegades takes the map on Ascent as well as the series, surprising everyone watching at home. Overall, congratulations to Renegades as they're really making a name for themselves. They're definitely on the come up and a team to look out for, so don't sleep on them. C9 did make a lot of mistakes on this map, however, they did manage to make one last comeback push at the end to make it really close. I really do think that this match mainly came down to team composition though. With the lack of information that C9 had, they look extremely lost and unsure in their play. The biggest thing I would change for C9 would be to swap the Breach for the Cypher. C9 really did not fully utilize Breach's potential with aggressive plays and decided to play too passive with no information agents like Sovo or Cypher. Vice definitely looked uncomfortable on the pick, and he was for sure better off playing Cypher as he's an amazing Cypher player. Nothing wrong for trying something new though besides, you know, losing, but that's beside the point.
Whew, well, that was quite the long video. If you guys are still with us and enjoyed the analysis, we appreciate the usual. Like, subscribe, yada yada. If you want more in-depth analysis like this, why not hit the bell notification button as well? Anyways, my name is Trey, and you can catch me on Twitter at AlexTrey_, and I'll see you on the next one. Stay awesome, guys.